There's magic in the air. It's everywhere.
What are you talking about, Ted?
The new magic items?
Alright, it looks like it's time to pull out the tome and talk about the new magic items from Strixhaven's Curriculum of Chaos for 5e D&D.
I'm Nerdarchy Ted.
I'm Nerdarchy Dave. Welcome to Nerdarchy. For nerds, by nerds.
Time to identify some magic items in this video.
Alright, so I'm going to pull out my handy-dandy device and pull up Strixhaven Curriculum of Chaos over on D&D Beyond.
I've got my Dead Tree version here with the, special cover. And we're going to dive into some cool magic items here.
So we get a total of 8 new magic items.
There's some other stuff, that is listed, that appears in the adventure that exists in previous, books. So, we're not going to get into any of that kind of stuff. But in the actual magic item section of it, there's 8 magic items, 5 of which that are uncommon and require attunement by a spellcaster, 3 of which that are common.
So, let's get into that list.
We got the Bottle of Boundless Coffee, the Cuddly Strixhaven Mascot, the Lorehold Primer, the Prismari Primer,
Quandrix Primer, Silver Quill Primer, Strixhaven Pennant, and a Witherbloom Primer. I see a theme going on here.
Indeed, so those 5 uncommons are going to be your primer, and there's going to be a lot of, similarities and item design that they all have in common.
But before we get into all of that, as you can see, Ted is holding his Strixhaven book. Wizards of the Coast was nice enough to send us a few of those. So we have 3 for the giveaway pile. One is a special cover, special edition cover, and the other 2 are the regular ones. And if you happen to be on our newsletter, a patron over on Patreon, or if you go to our website, they're all ways to become entered in our monthly giveaways, which are always $50 or above. Many times they're well above that, for sure. It is usually D&D stuff. Sometimes it's other RPG stuff and nerdy things, but it is always tabletop heavy.
Indeed.
Now, if you can't wait till then, no worries. You can see that there's a link down in the description to Amazon so that you can order your own copy of Strixhaven. Now, be warned, that is an affiliate link. It means we earn a small commission when you use that link. If you don't have a friendly flags that you like to patronage, you can help us out and help the channel out by using that link below.
But if you're looking for another way to kind of help out the channel, as Dave already mentioned, Patreon is a great way to do that. It's going to allow us to keep making videos like this, as well as all the awesome content over on nerdarchy.com.
As a special thank you, we create 5e content for both players and DMs alike over there. Drop-in encounters, magic item cards that we sometimes turn into print and play magic item cards. We create spells, races, subclasses, you name it, we're probably making it over there. There's even a chance to game with Nerdarchy. There's a link up in the cards as well as in the description for a free sampler download so you can check them out.
All right, so before we dive into this, we kind of mentioned that the 5 uncommon magic items all have some similarities in their magic item design. They're all wondrous items. They're all uncommon. They all require attunement by a spellcaster. They all have 3 charges and gain 1d3 charges daily at dawn. They are all linked to 2 skills that you can expend a charge to roll a d4 and add a bonus to a d20 roll. And they all give you 1 spell that you can cast for free, once per day, and it's all a first level spell.
Yeah, so when we get to those items, we will tell you the 2 skills, and we will tell you the classes that you can choose use the spell list to choose from. But other than that, they're all exactly like Ted said and the same.
So let's get into the other items. We've got the Bottle of Boundless Coffee, wondrous item common. The metal bottle carries delicious warm coffee. The bottle comes with a stopper, which is attached to the bottle by a little chain. Even when open, the bottle won't accept any liquid other than coffee it produces. The coffee inside is always comfortably warm, and none of the heat can be felt through the bottle. Each time you drink the coffee, roll a d20. On a 1, the bottle refuses to dispense the coffee for the next hour. If you pour coffee from the bottle rather than drinking from it, the coffee vanishes the moment it leaves the bottle.
So 1, it's a very shareable item, and you can only share it. It's the only way to drink it amongst the party. 2, it can be fickle.
It can be fickle.
No coffee for you.
No coffee for you. You come back 1 hour.
So we also have a Cuddly Strixhaven mascot, wondrous item that's common, representing one of the mascots of Strixhaven. This soft, tiny magic toy is perfect for cuddling. If you press it to your arm, shoulder, or leg as an action, the toy stays attached there for 1 hour till you use an action to remove it. This toy can also be used to fight off fear. When you make a saving throw to avoid or end the frightened condition on yourself, you can give yourself advantage on the roll if the toy is on your person. You must decide to do so before rolling the d20. If the save succeeds, you can't use this toy in this way again until you finish a long rest. So, it's cute, it's cuddly, and it can scare off fear. Stop! We have our second Kickstarter ready to go. Check the link in the description.
Add 250 magic item tarot card to your gaming resources right now.
Mage Forge are magic items from our very own games and minds ready to use in your game.
So check it out, back it, follow it, whatever it is that you need to do.
And get on that list.
So,
Stay nerdy.
I'm very curious about the wording. It says if you press it to your arm, shoulder, or leg as an action, the toy stays attached there. I'm like, I so want to take this cuddly toy and go attach it to the barbarian's leg and have it dangling there. I think that would be just so amusing.
Fortunately, it does not appear to work that way.
So I'm going to get into the other common magic item, and then we'll do all the primers together. The Strixhaven Pennant, wondrous item common. This magic pennant bears a symbol of Strixhaven, or one of its colleges, Lorehold, Prisari, Quandrix, Silverquill, or Witherbloom. While you wave the pennant, the symbol on it glitters, and the pennant sheds bright light in a 10-foot radius and dim light for an additional 10 feet. So it's kind of like a little magic torch. Yay!
All right, so with that was pretty cut and clear, right? It's a half a torch.
Half a torch.
So now with the primers, these are the ones that require attunement by a spellcaster. Lorehold is the first one, and that is going to give you that D4 to your intelligence history checks or intelligence religion checks, and you are going to be able to cast a spell from the cleric or wizard spell list, and your choice of wisdom or intelligence, wisdom, or charisma for your spellcasting ability.
The Prismari primer is going to allow you to choose dexterity, acrobatics, or charisma performance. Your first level spell that you choose when you study it has to come from either the bard or sorcerer list.
Quandrix primer, that is going to be intelligence arcana, intelligence nature, and you're going to choose from the druid or wizard spell list.
The Silverquill primer is going to be charisma intimidation or charisma persuasion, and you're going to get to choose a first level spell from bard or cleric.
Witherbloom, you're going to get intelligence nature or wisdom survival, and then you're going to also get druid or wizard for your spell list. So the thing that's kind of cool about these are you just have to be a spellcaster. So it may give you access to first level spells from a spell list you don't have access to.
So that part is absolutely fabulous. You don't need to be linked to the particular college if you have that book. Yeah, it requires attunement, but when you study that book at the end of a long rest, you can choose what first level spell from either spell list each day that you do that. So it's not set in stone. You've got a book, and you're going to be able to grab the spell that's going to be most appropriate for the particular day. It's like, oh, well, today, I've got this book which gives me access to wizard and cleric. Today I want shield. Tomorrow I want magic missile. The day after that I'm going to take cure wounds. One magic item that allows me to do that. It's only once a day. It's one casting, but it's still pretty awesome.
And also, it is always going to be able to be used with that spell with your prime spellcasting ability.
Yes.
So, it's not like, oh, it's a wizard spell, so it has to be intelligence, or it's a druid or cleric spell, so they have to be wisdom, or a bard spell, so it has to be charisma. And also, it's going to be your other casters, your Eldritch Knights, your Arcane Tricksters, your half-casters, the Paladin and Ranger. Mm-hmm. They're also going to be able to gain access to these books and use them. Those classes tend to not have as many spells, so it's going to be even more useful.
I would agree. I think there's a lot of use for that. And then it kind of begins to kind of beg the question of all right, well, what if you have taken Magic Initiate or Ritual Caster? Because you can cast spells, do you count as a spellcaster for that, or do you have to have the spellcasting tag granted to you, by your class? What about, if you go even further, what about if you go 4 elements monk? they do spell-like abilities. So, like, you know, I think there's room for negotiations with your DM in these kind of cases.
I think you need the spellcasting feature. That's what I would probably roll.
By raw, yes. But I mean, you know, at your individual table, like, I think there are things that become, you know, affixed to that kind of concept. And if you had any of those things in my game and you wanted to use one of these books, I would totally allow it.
It does require an attunement slot. If you go on to Ted's table, lawyer up. You might be able to get this one through. It's not a big deal. Hardly game breaking.
No, not at all.
What do you guys think? You know, do you like these? Is there a particular item that you're the most excited about? I mean, they're only commons and uncommons. We personally like when they add, you know, spellcasting features in there, especially like the magic books. We love the magic books. The only thing that make these magic books better is if they were actually arcane.
If they were focuses.
Arcane focuses, or just any kind of focus, really would be kind of cool.
I mean, you could literally take them from uncommon to rare and leave them as is, but turn them into a foci, and I would be like, woo!
I don't know, they'd be elevated to quite rare, maybe a little bit more oomph.
Well,
but...
a +1, you know, focus is an uncommon.
Yeah.
So, you know, bumping it from uncommon to rare, I think would make sense because it would be a +1 focus with additional abilities.
All right, that logic might very well work. But let us know. Do you agree? Do you disagree? There's a place for it down in the comments. Share your thoughts and ideas with the Nerdarchy community.
While you're down there, don't forget to do all those cool things like share, subscribe, even go ahead and attune to that notification bell. You know the drill.
Quick reminder, Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, we drop new videos here on the channel, so come on back. But you can't wait till then? No worries, we got you covered. Up here, you can find a card to the last Strixhaven video we did, where we talk about the spells.
So until next time, stay nerdy.